Hey, this is Troy, and what you're about to watch is an interview with one of my clients who recently committed to play college soccer. This is Raymond. His daughter Aryana committed to play college soccer at Paul Quinn College in Texas, and overall it was a perfect fit. They got a nice athletic and academic scholarship out of it, but I think he does a really good job of explaining how our service operates, what we do, and exactly how we help and operate with families who are inside of our program. For whatever reason, throughout this video, my screen is just frozen. Raymond looks and sounds great. However, you can hear me just fine, but my face is going to be stuck in these weird positions halfway through the video. I'm sorry if that's distracting. There's nothing I can do about it, but without further ado, let's get on to the video. No, the last time we had talked, you said shut down the email because she was about to commit. Run me really quick through how Paul Quinn, how that conversation, that situation kind of happened.
Yeah, well, first of all, we would have never even known anything without going with your, your program. There was absolutely no way in the world we would have even had any. Starting to realize the West Coast isn't recruiting much, or they're just a little bit on different time frames, and so we started getting all these, legitimate colleges sending stuff. And this particular one, Paul Quinn, just really just started coming out once you were sending those follow-up. I can't recall if they were follow-up emails or what happened, but whatever the persistence was that your stuff does is it gets coaches if they don't answer within one, they start sending them 2 and 3. All of a sudden they want to know more.
Yeah,
And
man.
so the coach there is a relatively new coach. He just is trying to rebuild a lot of stuff, and he just came out overall with the best academic and athletic type offerings for because obviously being out of state, room and board and all that other stuff adds up. And it was just overall like he kept doing it. And I think watch the videos on YouTube, and we didn't do the X or Twitter thing, probably because I just over social media, I was like, wow, just so much of it. And I'm not one of those guys that gets into it that much, but the YouTube videos helped, and he knew about her program. And pretty much, it's kind of like either, once they learn somebody from Utah, they all start hitting recruiting different areas. And so, yeah, kind of just based off of that, it just started as a, the call from there, and it worked well.
There we go, man. There we go. I wanted to quickly look at this. I don't know. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes, I can.
This is the initial board you guys filled out with Nikolai.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say we crushed this, man. 6 to 8 months, have offers that she can choose from, committed before now and graduation. I don't know if you remember doing this, but this was on August 4th.
Yeah, I do remember doing that. And, we probably could have kept playing the game, but we started worrying that, some of our offers that were coming, like Paul Quinn especially, and she had some out of North Carolina. I mean, there was a ton of them. I mean, it wasn't just them. I mean, it was almost, in a good way, it was overbearing because we were getting so many. What about this? What about that? And a lot of them weren't all saying, come to our ID camp. A lot of them were like, hey, text us more. How'd you hear about us? What about this? What about that? And there was just a lot. So, yeah, definitely that your goal board. Yeah, it's well above, that's why I was like, I didn't think it'd be this quick either, to be honest, but.
Well, that's a good problem to have. That's a good thing, I think. Yeah, man, I think before you guys worked with us, you guys hadn't really done anything, right?
No, and that's the problem. Yes. So, I mean, if I could do it all over, I'd say, start in their, sophomore year. Obviously, you got these high-end leagues that people pay tons of money for, these these higher-end leagues. We were playing in a comp league that's obviously, we're playing at a pretty high division now, but it's not that, you probably heard of ODP or ECNL type stuff for soccer. It's all this high-end. And I think these Division I schools, I think, just sit there, and because they travel so much, they hit them early on in all these Division I schools. And I don't care about divisions really. I just want a good education and what's going to be cheaper in the long run, but they like to recruit, definitely like what we were told that, before they're, before these kids are junior, when they're in their junior year type thing, before they're seniors. So, I wish I would have known, what I mean? I wish I would have seen you on Instagram 2 years sooner, because it would have been a different story. But luckily we did spot you when we did. Otherwise, I mean, and we took the gamble, because you never know, when you see all these things on social media, how good something is. But yeah, you made it so I didn't have to do anything. Just already had to answer emails. It was pretty crummy. It was like I said, overwhelming at times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's that's the way we design it, is to make sure that you don't really have time to do all this, man. I mean, if you guys had to manually set out and send out all those emails, I know I wouldn't have been able to do it when I was in high school. It would have been very tough.
I don't even know the colleges. You don't know who's the head coach, and very few bounce backs. There's a few, but I would say let's say I don't know how many emails that were sent out. Let's say 500. I bet you there was only maybe 15 bounce backs, if that. I mean, very few.
Yeah. We spend a lot of time. I have a whole team that works on making sure the contacts are always up to date.
Okay.
So it's definitely a hassle on our end. So I can only imagine if every single family had to do that. But Raymond, I won't keep you here all day. I just have one more quick question for you. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, back up. You guys didn't. You emailed me in when you said you'd never heard of Paul Quinn or the area before. You didn't know anything about Paul Quinn before they got a response?
I didn't know. We didn't know much about any of the colleges that you were, because there were a lot of back east and back in down in the outside of the West Coast colleges we knew. And so if we didn't have that, there's absolutely no way we would have. We just didn't know that. We didn't have that knowledge. You know what I mean? We didn't have the expertise on all the stuff you've done. You know what I mean? We just had no idea. So for the person like us, and I'd say 90%, 95% of the people out there, this is the type of program they need to market. It's that marketing stuff you're doing, and it did well. So there's no way. I don't care how good of a league you're in. Sometimes you're not noticed by a lot of these hidden schools because they don't have it's soccer, it's women's soccer. There's not the money there like football, men's football or men's basketball. And so they don't have the recruiting amounts for, the money to go out and recruit everywhere. So no, we had no idea, but she already wanted to go. She said, hey, Texas is somewhere I really want to go. She didn't really care where. She just loves Texas for some reason, even though she's never been there. But it was that. And we got a lot of Georgia school opportunities too. And it ultimately came down to what's kind of closer and, what's really going to give us the best deal. And that Paul Quinn, I mean, like I said, the coach has been great so far. And I hope that she can make it 4 years there,
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Raymond, last question for you, man. So far, by the way, I appreciate you doing this, brother. So
yeah, no problem.
What would you say to a family that may be on the fence about working with a company like ours, or us in particular, about what we do and how it may stack up against other things they've looked into?
Well, like I said, I'd probably put this on the top of my priority list. After you're paying for your comp league or paying your fees, then this should be the next step. I don't think there's any question in my mind. This is way better than the paying for those ID camps that they've got 20 coaches there, but they're not really looking for anybody in particular. They don't know. This was, like I said, I wish I had some kids that were younger because I would have started this sooner. Like my oldest got lucky and, kind of had an idea. It was just kind of out of random, but there's no question in my mind. This would be, if you want your kids to go to college, you need to market them. And this is the firm to do it. We couldn't say enough good about you, to be honest with you. And the guy that we worked with, sorry for Nikolai. I mean, he pretty responsive and got our videos up pretty quick over considering some of the other stuff that we had to do. It was good.
Awesome. Raymond, well, I really appreciate you hopping on here, man. Congratulations again, you and Aryana. I'm excited. I can't wait to follow her through college. And if you guys ever need anything now, moving forward, whatever it is, you guys are part of the family for life in my book. So you just reach out to me, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate it. And since I have you try, I just wanted to ask you one question, just so I kind of have an idea. Let's just say, for example, Ari does decide to transfer in a year or two or three, whatever could happen, do you guys do a lot of assistance with that? And I don't know how this works because I'm obviously I don't want her to transfer, but if something happens, do you remarket kind of like what you did for this on a high school level, but maybe trying to hey, she's played here for 2 years, she's looking to get out? Do you do that, or is that something that's even been started yet?
Yeah, absolutely. We do that. We help anybody from high school to transfers. Transfers, actually, funny enough, are the easiest because they've already proved themselves in college. They can get the academic side taken care of, the athletic side taken care of. They don't have to worry about them, being away from home. Somebody coming out of high school, being away from home, kind of handling themselves, you don't really know what you're going to get versus somebody who's been doing it for 2 years. So, yeah, it's pretty much the exact same process, just a little bit different of approach to make sure we follow all the rules correctly. But overall, yeah, we do, to answer your question in short.
That's good to know. That's why I'm keeping you in the book too, because like I said, I hope I don't have to use you, but if we do, and obviously I'll pass that information on to some of these younger girls on our team that or juniors and that, like, you guys don't have anything. I know you're going to see the price, but I'm telling you right now, if you got to look, it's an investment. Do you want try to go on your own? Or, I mean, like I said, I think Ari ended up with like an $8,000 just for soccer alone a year. And yeah, it's not that expensive a school. We're still hoping to be under the $7,000-$8,000 range a year, which is way more affordable than anywhere else, especially with room and board. So this is an investment. So you got it. You did exactly what you said when I watched your Instagram stuff. So glad you did good. I'd give you a 10 if I that's what I'd give you if there was a spread, some sort of thing you wanted to know. That's a 10. I don't think you could have done any better.
Thank you, Ray. That's the best compliment you can give me is I did exactly what I said I did. Exactly what I said I would. I really appreciate that, Ray.
Yeah, no problem.
You have a great rest of your day. You have any more questions for me while we're on here, by the way?
No, I think we're good. Enjoy your weekend.
Hey, brother. You as well. Thank you so much, Ray. You guys have a good one.
All right, you too. We'll see you. Bye.